include some of my research process in today's crocheting, partly because I'm not entirely sure where to go next with this. It's ideally going to be a little black kitty cat that looks similar to, but not exactly like Gamer Cat. So if you don't know who Gamer Cat is, we're gonna go here and take a look. Gamer Cat. And just go images. So we got this little guy here. He's on the Facebook stickers. That might be where you recognize him. But there's a whole webcomic at the website, thegamercat.com. And it's super cute. It's about a cat who plays video games. I mean, that sounds pretty simple, but I'm trying to get to this head part here. And it's sort of like a rounded triangle, is what it looks like. In some cases, like here, it looks more oval. And I was saying earlier, sometimes it looks trapezoidal, like it goes a little flat at the top and then comes down. I don't think I have the crochet skill to quite create that at this time. Rounded triangle even might be a little much for me. So if I go football shaped, it'll be similar but not unlike it. I'm just thinking that it will be easier for me to find a football, a crochet football pattern than it will be to find a crochet triangle pattern. There might be other things out there. I don't know, there's cute little blobs and stuffies and whatever, but I think I want to go with football, so we'll see if there's stuff on Ravelry here. If you're interested in crocheting and all that, yes, like this, footballs. I knew there had to be something. Alright, so football patterns. I'm just going to make it completely black, and I'm going to be doing, like I may have said this earlier, I'm going to try and do the eyes in felt. I was looking at the Geeky Hooker, and she does some very small little, like superhero and comic related amigurumis. So I wanted to kind of mimic some of that, because she does a great job with the faces. She doesn't like sew on the faces, because it wouldn't work, they're so small. But she does use felt for the eyes and such. Alright. Worsted weight, black, medium brown, sport weight, and yellow. Okay. I already have my yarn picked out. It's going to be this. A G-size crochet hook. It's not size important. I'm not including a gauge. Crochets tightly. I think this particular project I've been using a 3mm hook, so I'm going to stick with that one. Polyfiber, but any stuffing. Yeah, this is also polyfill. Scissors, a needle with an eye big enough for yarn. And I have that over here. Boop. Great. So, chain 2, stitch 4, chain 1. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out first of all if this is in the round. It does not look like it. Actually, it could go either way. Alright, hold on. A join with whip stitch. Okay, that does look like actually it is in the round. It just doesn't specifically say that. What's giving it away for me is where it says around. No, because it says join with slip stitch. If you want to have bands with different colors, someone makes rows 8, 9, 19 through 20 in your secondary color. For example, if you're a Steelers fan. Oh my gosh, I should totally make a Steelers one after this. Jingles is a Steelers fan. But Steelers also have the other colors in there too, like the green, yellow, not green, the blue, yellow, and red, right? blue, yellow, and red. Dang it, now I gotta look up Steelers too. Steelers logo. Yeah, blue, yellow, and red. I just got them in the wrong order. That looks orange. Yeah, so I'd probably have to... Anyway, football later. Well, football for Cat's Head now. And alright, so I think I'm actually going to cut out... Wait, when I attach it, I think I do need to make the cat body. This is the cat body. I'm going to have to make this a bit taller to match up with the head. I knew I needed to stuff it before I decided to move on to the head. Stuffing, you know, spreads it out a bit. So in this case, I had been following the guide for the penguin I had been making. So it's time for penguin pattern. Alright, so I'll include this down here. Actually, it'll be upside down for you guys. Oh no. I was saying I had lost my birthday card from my mom, which was this. And I was looking all over the house for it. It's in my pattern of crochet book, or my crochet pattern book. I got it the same day I went out to do a Knit in Public event, so I stuck it in here. So here is, I gotta take a look at how it's, you guys see this? Yes. So here's the little penguin. Oh, it's super tiny. Make this bigger. Alright, so penguin body, if you can kind of take a look at it down there, little roly-poly, that's the pattern I'm using for this right here. I'm trying to make this also that roly-poly and creating a spot to attach the head here. In this one, in this pattern, both the top of the body and the bottom of the head are, they're open and they're connected with the little neck thing. Actually, the neck thing covers the stitching. I think in this case I'm going to keep the top open, but I'm going to close the bottom of the football. I can't really see how that's going to work in my favor if I don't. So we are going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, I'm just taking bits and pieces. This is the slouch hat I finished last night, except it's green. Here's the actual hat. So I made that hat a bit bigger than the pattern. Here are my notes. Actually, I should put the notes on the inside so I don't lose them. So yeah, I'm taking bits and pieces from other patterns and putting them together and hopefully making something cool out of it, something that's decent. Alright, so I'm actually going to today start with continuing, you know, that was silly of me. I put away the penguin pattern, but that's what I needed. I'm going to continue making this bigger, and then I'm going to work on the football part of the head. I'm also going to switch cameras now that we're sort of done with the research part of it. I just wanted you guys to be able to see and not, like, just watch me talk, or listen to me talk about the stuff I was looking up instead of how I actually looked it up. Ravelry is a great site. It's free. You can find free patterns, as we just did. There's also patterns you can pay for. I'm a little disappointed. There was the one pattern I was ready to buy. It says you can buy it, but the link to it doesn't work. The link on the site it sends you to seems to be broken, or I'm not quite sure if the person's just not selling that one anymore. But yes, Inception here. So I'm going to set this up so I can check out who's here, and we can go back to the crocheting one where you can see my hands a bit better. There we go. Alright, so now you guys can actually see what I'm doing here with everything's moving around. Sorry about that if that's becomes problematic. So penguin body. I think I got up to... Okay, here we are decreasing. I'm pretty sure what I was doing. I say I'm pretty sure because I, again, didn't I did start writing this down. Where did I start writing it down? Oh, in a notebook. Right, a notebook. Alright, grab a notebook. Alright. Oh, I have another sticker for this notebook. I just got it last night. 2 nights ago. I went to a VR event, and one of the guys I've met, it's funny to say, oh, I've met through work and stuff like that, but it's like more of a business relationship. He started this new company called Redesign IT, where he's looking to do a bunch of different things. So Redesign IT, hooray! A part of what he's looking to do, just a small part of it, is to redistribute VR. So they're going to have a redesigned VR section. It's going to go on the bottom there. Or should it go on the top? I want the top. So yeah, I'd be helping doing distribution. I think he wants to bring me on for social media stuff because he seems a little unsure of that, but he's got business sense, so he'll make the company and I will help them advertise it. And they're not even looking at going into games, so they're looking into going, trying to get, it's crooked, oh well, this VR experiences, so that's something else I have to look into. Alright. Circular plastic canvas or magic circle, increasing, keeping it flat until there are 50 stitches around. This is 50 stitches around. I did not include the instructions for magic circle because I used the canvas. Crochet on the inner loops on row 1 on plastic canvas, 1 stitch in each. Oh, the inner loops, you have to loop around there. So row 1 on plastic canvas, yes. Inner loops would be if you did, okay, see that's confusing even for me who wrote it. Crochet inner loops, so that'd be back post crochet, back crochet, single crochet, back post single crochet, which is equal to row 1 on plastic canvas. 1 stitch in each around. Stitch 2 together, 1 stitch in the next 5 stitches, repeat all around. Okay, so I was doing a slow decrease here. And then I did another 3 rows with 1 stitch in each. Stitch 2 together, 1 stitch in the next 4 rounds, repeat all around. Alright, so I've decreased twice now. 1 stitch in each times 4. Okay, so I completed that. 4 rounds. So then I will probably go... I don't like how fast it's closing. I think I just want to go down 1 more level. So step 8 will be stitch 2 together, 1 stitch in next 4, repeat all around. So I'm going to do the same level of decrease that I did in step 6. Alright. So we're down to 4 here. I may have to take the stuffing out. Actually, I am going to take the stuffing out, but kind of set it aside so I know how much I put in. I don't like to crochet with the stuffing inside of it, because what ends up happening, especially in a dark color like this, is that you will accidentally pull it out. You pull little bits of the stuffing out, and so then it starts looking fuzzy around the edges with these little white bits of stuffing. And it's just, it looks a little sloppy to me. Alright, and you. Alright, stitch 2 together. Every 4. This hook might actually be a little small for this type of yarn. So I have to be really careful when I go to pick up the yarn on the other side that I don't split it. And that just, you can see that in the finished product, and it doesn't look pretty. It's also not good for the yarn. Not that these need to be particularly strong, but it actually weakens the hold of the yarn. Like there, I just split it. Try not to do that. I try, but I don't always succeed. Oh no, see, I was having problems with this. I brought this project to the Knit in Public Day, where they also accept crocheters. But yeah, this project is making me go a little slower than I normally would. Where am I at? Oh, that was a skip right there. Three and four. And then we skip the next one. Yeah, like I said, having problems with it. Mostly when you pull through, you grab the wrong piece. And I forgot to count. 1. Skip. Skip. That's bad. Two, 3, 4, and this will be the last one I skip. That brings us right back to the other one on the round side. Alright. And then now I will do 3 rows, another 3 rows. So 3 rows with 1 stitch in each. 9, 1 stitch in each, times 3. the way the crochet works is that this, because I'm doing rows in between, it's gonna kind of do this up and then in and then in. So I start out here, and then you see that it rounds in and goes up a little, and then it dips in and goes up and dips in. So kind of like a weird little vase. But when you stuff it, that kind of the vase figure sort of goes away. The curves there. So we're just single crocheting each one. This is the part I kind of like about crochet, where you can just sort of let your mind wander. Getting caught up in my headphones there. Oh my goodness. So tangled. There we go. I have a feeling I have to modify that football design. It looked kind of small, but to make it big enough to be proportionate with this cat body. I'm also going to have to make a tail too. That I think I can figure out on my own. However, his tail, and he has hands. He has like prehensile hands for, because he's a cat who can play games, and you can't hold a controller if you don't have prehensile appendages. But I think he has like 4 fingers, the little cat does. His tail also has what look like fingers on the end of it. So that'll be a neat little challenge to figure out. I don't know if I should search the pattern for gamer cat and see if someone actually has come up with a gamer cat pattern. I didn't decide I wanted to do gamer cat till I had already started the base. I really like using the plastic canvas for a base. That way you have a flat bottom, like very flat. One thing I do need to do for this one, because I want this to have weight to it. I want it to be a weighty design. I'm going to actually fix the camera a little here. There we go. I want to have a bit of weight to it. A lot of the cat crochet designs I saw, and this is kind of weird to me, is they were all for door stops. Like, you crochet a little amigurumi kitty, but I don't know what you put inside of it. I didn't open up the patterns and fully look at them. to give it weight to act as a doorstop, but apparently people like cats as doorstops. It's a thing. There's probably like 5 or 6 patterns specifically for that. Yeah, so I could do his eyes round. I opened up the Gamer Cat comic again, and now I'm looking at it a little bit more as, you know, not just reading it as a comic, but looking at it for design elements for this. Yeah, he has pretty round eyes. Or he has ones where he has sparkles. Little sparkles in his eyes because he's happy. Seeing something he really likes. Okay, coming on the end of the first row here. First to 3. Gamer Cat also has his little, I'd say his little angel on his shoulder, but it looks like one of the fairies. Well, the way this artist portrays the fairies from Zelda that heal you. I kind of am thinking about making a little Gamer Cat set for this friend. I mean, she originally wanted stuff done with this particular yarn, so she'll get Gamer Cat out of the yarn, out of this yarn. But the other characters are different colors. So if you haven't viewed Gamer Cat, it's there's another little cat in there, but he's a patchwork kind of kitty, which is odd because they call him a he, but usually like a calico cat is a she. So I'm just wondering if that's an oversight of the author. Just didn't know that information. So you got Gamer Cat, you got a little fairy, you have there's another girl Gamer Cat, and there's another one who's like a big fat bully. I mean, I could try to crochet Gamer Cat's eyes, because most of the time they are just white round with black round in them. But if I wanted to do the little sparkle in them, like he's excited, that would get a bit more complicated. And now that I think about it, I don't even know if I got black felt, so that might require a trip to the store. Oh man, I spent so much money when I went to Joann Fabrics the other day, and it was almost all in mind with keeping the crochet stuff. I did get 2 books, and the books are, you know, the bigger chunk of the materials I got. I got a polyfill beads, not just the soft little fluffy stuff, but they come in beads to make like a Beanie Baby sort of feel to it. However, the beads are small enough to where I wouldn't be comfortable putting them by themselves in something like this, because the beads would actually fall out. They're very tiny. So I need to find something else to put them in, and I think I've decided on nylons. So I need to go find cheap nylon somewhere, like pantyhose nylon, and then I can put that in there, because I would like it I don't want to put in multiple little bags. I'd like to put in one bag that's about the size of this, at least on the bottom half, so I can make the bottom half of this filled with beans, or beads. Actually, I've heard beans work too. But the thing is with beans, if you get them wet, like, they can get moldy and they can start actually growing, and that's a little gross when you just want something cute. Now if I made something out of cotton, like 100% cotton, and made little planted beans, my god, that's an amazing idea. Alright, that's what I need to write down. So, pot. Crochet idea. This is like a crazy idea. So crochet a pot, like you could make a little Groot or something like that. Crochet a pot, fill with beans. Include instructions for planting. Crochet a pot with 100% cotton. I don't know what else is biodegradable. I mean, I suppose you could try and use wool or something, but I think actually crocheting it out of a plant fiber would probably be the best. Okay, look up plant fibers. Look up yarn made from plant fibers. Okay, I gotta finish sentences here. Made with 100% cotton. Look up yarn made with plant fibers. Include instructions. This is all like, wow, this is definitely stream of consciousness writing here. The pot filled with beans. This is what I want to include instructions for planting. So maybe like Groot, maybe not necessarily a Groot, but just some sort of stick type thing so the plant can actually grow up it. It does sound a little crazy, but I'm pretty sure crazier things have been done. Some of the other stuff, speaking of plant fibers that I've been looking into, there's, in one of like the most common books that I've seen that people get is The Happy Hooker. Actually, I think I have that right next to me somewhere. So this was given to me as like a Christmas gift when I first started crocheting. The Stitch and Bitch Happy Hooker. And in it there is a pattern for a welcome mat. There it is. So there's a welcome mat pattern. Now, I mean, I took a look at this, and it's the Doris Day mat. What they call it, 'cause a bunch of daisies on it. Doris Day. I can't remember what she may have been the Girl Scouts, but I'd have to look that up again. So they call for jute, and so I was looking into jute. I was looking into sisal, and other types of twine. So this calls for medium duty jute, mason line twine. So this one's made out of nylon. Jute is a plant fiber, nylon is not. I'm not sure if that's an or, because they call for 200 feet of jute and another like 225 of nylon. I'll have to read through the pattern more carefully later. But anyway, plant fibers. That's where I was going with that. Jute and sisal are made of plant fibers. So the doormat has been kind of on my list. We have 2 doormats here where I live. They're both worn down like crazy amounts. So I think the other things I need to consider is how to make it sort of like sticky on the bottom or rubbery so it doesn't slide around. I'm in Southern California. Things dry out, so if it gets super dry, like you can just it'll actually slide along the steps we have. Our current ones slide, and they actually have like rubber bottoms. When it gets super hot, everything just like doesn't move; it just sticks. I don't think that rubber's ever melted, but if it gets wet. Alright, so row 2 is done. Starting row 3. Yeah, I got so many ideas for what I want to do for crochet stuff. Like, I had a priority list at one point, and I've made progress on it. I finished the penguin, I finished the hat, and I'm working on the kitty cat right now. I mean, after finishing the hat and getting the results I got out of that, now I want to make one for myself. It turned out great. There's another not safe for work pattern that I came up with, which is funny that it's you know, you'd label it NSFW, but it was for my producer who I was working for at the time. She loved it. It's a set. I'll just say that. A very anatomically themed set. So. She loved it. She said it'd be a great hit. There's a lot of people I hear said it'd be a great hit. I'm still a little obviously uncomfortable with it, but I mean, it could be something really neat. It's, yeah. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the ice cream man is outside again. Playing Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. Although I'm not entirely sure if I think that's actually an ice cream truck. I was playing Pokemon Go. I got in the beta, and on the hottest freaking day of the year, which is Monday, so like 4 days ago, I had gone out on a short little Pokemon walk, is what I call it. Mostly because I wanted to get myself, I mean, why did I go out on such a crazy hot day? I went out on a crazy hot day because I wanted to get myself acclimated to the heat a bit, because it was going to be freaking hot. Oh, speaking of, I need to turn on the AC here before it does get freaking hot. So I went outside, I did my little Pokemon walk. It wasn't so bad outside because the portal, the Pokestop I went to is close enough to a bench under the shade so I could just sit there for a bit. And I was switching back and forth between Pokemon and Ingress. You know, hack one, switch to the other, hack the other. And the same ice cream truck goes by. It was about the same time of day. And I couldn't figure out, it took me a few seconds to figure out why I found it odd what happened. It's a strange little intersection anyway. You got two roads that are very close together. It used to be a train track, so if you think about a train track, and you have a road on this side and the road on the other side. So the former train track is now like a biking and walking path. But on either side is actually road. They're two-way roads. It's not like one way this way, one way this way, two-way roads. So the stop, the intersection gets a little weird because it's a six-way intersection. So you get these two roads going this way, one road going this way. So there's 6 places cars can stop, plus the bike path, which adds another 2 if it's really, really busy. It's a lot to look out for at that intersection. It was a particularly quiet day, though. And he turned down the one street, he turned down to one of the bike path streets, and then he continued on and turned down my street. And, well, that's not particularly weird. My street's the second street. It's like he specifically was going to go down my block. He missed a block. Like, the idea that I understand with ice cream trucks is, or just you go down and you kind of cover a neighborhood. You know, you zigzag back and forth. And, you know, maybe if you miss someone or they don't, you know, they hear it, they're like, oh man, let's get our money and run outside. You know, they can jump to the next block and get you. He skipped a block, and he went to my block. So instead of going straight across, like I would sort of expect, he went down a road and to my block, which was, in the way I'm describing it, it's 1 block away, and I live partly in the middle of the block, so he went straight to my block. And the thing is, I don't hear him usually a second time. Like if he was to be a block over. I never hear it. So I'm like, does this guy just come down my street? Because to me, that's creepy. I mean, ice cream trucks are a little sketch to begin with, but... Wasn't there a Doctor Who episode with ice cream truck? I'm pretty sure there was. Was it a Doctor? No, it wasn't a Doctor Who episode. It's way, way earlier than that. It was a freaking Charmed episode. I need to finish watching Charmed. I don't even know if it's still on Netflix. But I started watching it. And the funny thing is, I didn't even get as far as I expected to. But I was in like season... I was waiting for the episodes that had the Need to Be Love song. But that must have been like later on in Charm's history or whatever. Alright, so row 3 is finished. Unfortunately, I do have to go out. I forgot about doing the beans when I was prepping materials for this. I mean, I have the beads, but I don't have the nylon for it. I mean, I might just stuff it again to stretch it out a little to kind of see where I'm at. Yeah, I can start on the football at this point. I don't have to close this up yet or stuff it. So I'm probably going to leave a bunch of the yarn here to try and, let's see, how much did I pulled out? About 3 pulls. 1, 2, 3, a little more. So we'll keep that stuff with the beads, not beans. I'm not using beans. So it'll be half beads, half fluff. The head will be all fluff. So back to that pattern. Footballs. He doesn't use the magic ring. I can kind of see why. If you want the point, you don't want a ring. And I say he, but I probably should figure out who's the author of the blog. The Craft Frog. I know you guys can't see it now. Who is that Craft Frog? Joy. It's Joy, born in Canada. Alright. And she immigrated to the US. She now lives in Alabama. I now live in Alabama, which has alright winters and torturous summers. Alright, so we're going to go back to the football. I'm going to read this a little bit, so if you can just give me a minute. It is a toddler-sized football, but it can be made bigger if you just follow the pattern to increase stitches on each round. It's kind of blocky, but it will round out when it's stuffed. Don't switch hook sizes, so I'm going to stay with this hook size. I would kind of prefer to work in the round, although she has a slip stitch at the end of every single round. I'm not sure I like that. I think it would get a little sloppy, I'm actually going to search for, keep looking in the pattern, so I'll keep that one open. But yeah, reading through the instructions, it's not quite the way I want to go. I've also gotten really used to working in the round. I don't necessarily want to change that. Another football here. That looks like it's knitted though. Oh, I didn't click the thing that says I want crocheted patterns only. Okay. Alright, so crochet, crochet. Wow, that's a little sad. It's a football chemo hat is what they called it. Oh my god, there's so many football things. You know, I'm gonna switch over so you guys can see what I'm seeing too, because this is really funny. Alright. So we have football hats. The football chemo hat, which is, like I said, pretty sad. Little hats for babies, you know, kids. A diaper cover? Like, what? A little embellishment. A football covering for your dog a dog sweater. Football with the pink stitches for girls. And a little hat and diaper cover sets all over the place. A beer koozie. Oh, here we go. A football fun set. That might be good. Alright. I want this on this side of the screen, just where Alright. Patterns 250. Alright, I will have to wait a minute on that. I'm not into purchasing patterns yet. I could also probably figure out how to make it on my own, but I'd like to follow a pattern. Koozies are fun. Fun and probably very easy. I should probably make a bunch of koozies just to have something up to sell. Coasters, okay. So you got koozies and coasters. I need to make a set of coasters for the house. Man, look at that. All this projects I'm racking up here. See how this looks cool. Little football helmet. You're starting with the circle there. You probably have to make 2 of those and then use the stripe. That colored stripe is a stitch down the middle. That's a neat thing. I should probably keep Twitch out here so I can see if anyone joins and is chatting. There we go. Adult hat pattern, a bobble pattern. I'm also working on a blanket. See, this says football, but I wonder if they're just talking about, that looks like a hacky sack to me. I could probably make hacky sacks. I need to find the little plastic beads that go in hacky sacks. That is what I need to find. It might be the same beads I picked up. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. It says football, and I'm guessing it's green and yellow for like the Packers, because it has a little stitching there, but it looks more like a turtle cover for a baby. They turn the baby into a turtle. People get really, people get super, super creative with this stuff. I'm actually looking for a stuffed football, though. Maybe this little guy. He looks like he's been made in patches, though, like they're sewed together. I mean, that would make sense, I suppose, if you're going for that look. Another paid pattern, though. This one's available for free. This looks about what I want, though, with the working in the round, possibly. Oui, crochet. I hope this is not in French. You want a size H hook. I have a 3mm. I think this is a J, so it's one size smaller than the pink one. Yeah, it's totally different. But, alright. Switch to color B, switch to color B. Well, I was gonna keep the same color, so I don't need to switch the colors here. Switch back to main color, stuff as much as you can now. Okay. "30 stitches around." So, let's count these stitches here, what we got. That'll be the pin is hook 1, or stitch 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we have 29 across right now. So that's about 30. That's really close to 30. So that would be the top of the head. Measuring probably isn't the best bet because when you stuff it, the yarn stretches, but we get an idea here. Approximately 9 inches in circumference for the head. That actually might be a little too big for a head at that point. Well, I can start it and then we can take a look at what it looks like when we get a little further. I'm not going to finish this today since I didn't get the nylons to hold the beads in. The beads are, I'll get those to show you guys. So the beads come in a bag like this. And once I open them, I'm definitely going to have to find a what am I thinking? Like a container to put them in. So I'm trying to see. Oh, it just looks white to you. They say that they had a size on here. It's 32 ounces of beads. It's like freaking 2 pounds. Oh. It says, "Do not use to stuff children's toys." Well, it isn't going to a child. It's for decorative dolls and crafts. Well, when I give it to her, maybe I'll make a little card with warning stuff on it. But yeah, that was my concern. I wanted to use these for the penguin for my niece, but she's 3. And while she's a very smart 3-year-old, I didn't want to put something like that in a toy. That just did not seem appropriate. So, she is old enough not to eat stuff like buttons, so I did include buttons as eyes. But I figured the very tiny fill product, and it would get a house messy, like if they're actually playing with the toy or whatever, like, and with stitches like this and having the beads fall out, like that just, I think that'd be rude. Anyway, working on a football shaped head. So, stitch 2 it says. I don't want to use the tail, that's silly. 1, 2, can't count the one on the hook. And then second chain from the hook, stitch 6, I believe. Actually, I should probably have it open. You guys still see the whole screen, right? Yes, you do. So we will switch back to the crochet version. So you get a bigger shot of this and not necessarily of the pattern. Alright, so I need to rearrange my stuff on the screen in just a second here. Pattern on one side, Twitch on the other. I want to be able to still talk to you if anyone else arrives. Alright. Here, and that gets minimized. Alright. Single crochet 6 in the second chain from the hook. Alright, we'll go here. And 1, I think, 2. This has gotten a little weird already. Starting is always super frustrating for me. Pull through both. Okay, I went through 1. Needs to go through 2. Or does it? Well, that got a little messed up, but we have, and see, yes, this is where it gets really, really tight, and I don't like it when it gets so tight. Usually I go up a couple hook sizes when I start something. Let's see, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nope. That should be 6. Grade 6 and 7. See, here it doesn't even tell you to connect it again. That's what I have a problem with some of these. Finished footballs are probably 5 inches long. Place stitch mark at the end of each round. So you don't, and this is what really freaking bothers me. It doesn't tell me I'm actually working in the round. Oh, 6 in the second chain, not from the second chain. That's probably why. Probably why I get so confused. I had to put 6 stitches inside 1 stitch. That's what was going on here. One, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I just want to do the magic ring. 5 and 6. And this magic ring here, you'd pull it all together. And then next, single crochet 1, 2 stitches, and next stitch around. Oh, SC1. I think it's just I feel like it's counting rows. Oh, okay, it's skipping 1. Okay. So I gotta pick up 2 here because it's actual full stitch. 1 and 2. Starting makes me super tense in my shoulders. Okay, 1 here. Trying to pull it through without splitting my yarn, because I make them stupid tight. Okay, Single crochet 1. Yay. Alright, next one. Gotta pick up the 2. I have to actually fit 2 in this stitch. It makes it easier once you get the first one in, because then you can just kind of slide it in next to the ones you just did. And then another 1. So we're on stitch 3 of the first 6. Okay, and then 2 more is a stitch 4. Now single, stitch 5. The reason I'm counting is because I want to keep track. My last round. And this last one is 6, which requires 2. 1 and 2, and the next one should be where we did our first one. And that's where the stitch marker goes. Here. Okay, did the first, got it started, which to me is the absolutely hardest part of an amigurumi. Now, what is frustrating is that when you do it like that, you do end up, let me pull this out a little bit so I don't lose it. I have an orange stitch marker on. Oh, I was using the orange one for that. So you can see any random stitch markers hanging around, because that happens occasionally. Thought I had some in here, maybe? Nope, I used those. Yeah, I actually had one slide off of this project. I had 2 on here. And I picked it up after I went to the Knit in Public Day, and it was gone. One of them was gone. I do have my stash of stitch markers. So I have one to show me where I'm at, and then I have another to hold my place in case the hook comes out. It's probably not a good idea to store the hook with the inside the work while you're working on it. Like right here, I don't have a stitch marker holding my spot, so I should probably stick one there too. But if it gets caught on something, you know, as you saw me pulling them out, the stitches just bloop, 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 pull out. So you want to have something that will stop that from happening. So here's the stitch marker on it, and if I go to the end, like here's my extra yarn, if I just kept pulling it, it would pull right through. So the stitch marker I also use as a stop, as well as to mark where my round ends. I don't like having it that tight though. Okay, starting is the hardest part. It started, and there's this hole here. It's kind of a big hole, especially when you start stuffing something. A hole will just get bigger. I may have to take the tail of this and somehow try and make it into a point. Let's just do that now. By the time I work it further, I probably won't want to do it, and I'll just be like, it's okay. No, probably not, because it's a big hole. But that's what Magic Circle is awesome for. I just discovered Magic Circle a couple months ago. I don't remember which project I started on, but I was like, this is awesome. A little sad that the ladies who I first started off my penguin project did not show that to me. Alright, so I'm actually using the tail at the moment to try to close up this hole. I'll pull the tail through and tie it off, but I'm using a super tiny bit of yarn to make sure that this hole doesn't create a problem for us. And we're done. That's all I got. because we're at the very end of the yarn piece. That was a small tail. Note to self, make bigger tails. So that's where we are with the tail. If we tuck it in, hopefully that'll sort of cover up some of the hole once we stuff it. It's a colorful little one. As long as someone doesn't go poking around with a hook or whatever, that should be fine. I was talking to another friend and showed her some of the stuff I was doing. I was like, oh, and I don't like this, and this makes me nervous. She's like, I think you're just being too hard on yourself. I was like, oh. Well, that's good to hear, thanks. So, that might poke out, but actually working the tail in that far definitely covers the hole. We may see it come out again when it gets stuffed, but for now, it's a good one. I'm going to take a little break. I don't want to say it's starting stressful. That sounds like I can't freaking do this, make crochet things, but it is stressful. I'm going to go grab a little bite to eat and something to drink, and get the AC and fan on, because it is starting to get warm here. Even though it's better than it was, it's not going to be 120 again today. It's still pretty warm, so I'm going to pause this, and I will be back. Alright, I am back from the break. I had some really fun stuff going on. The cats are in a super playful mood, so in order to prevent them from, like, ripping up all the furniture, you do gotta play with them a little. And, also, I had a package. My birthday gift from my mom showed up, so that was really exciting. She sent me cookies from a company called the Dancing Deer. So that, excuse me, that was a little fun. So I had to open it. Of course, you have to open it. It's my birthday present, so I need to give her a call. And as you saw at the beginning of the stream, I found my birthday card from her, which I was almost ready to blame my roommates for losing it. And I'm the one who put it somewhere different. Yikes. Since I've moved here, I've been here over a year, and I still don't have a good system for how I organize my mail and stuff. Like, I'm very crowded here, so I don't really have good systems for myself set up yet. Alright, so I finished the first round. Okay. I just make sure I was reading it right, because they continuously increase in this pattern. Single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, is that the round? And I was like, no, because they actually list rounds. That took a bit. Okay, so single crochet 2, and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so it's a slow increase here. So what it's asking me to do is single crochet 2. So in here I'll go 1, 2. Well, that's 1 still. So 1 and then 2. And then in this next one over here, it wants me to put 2 inside of this one. So there's the first one. And this is the second one. And then I continue on with 2 singles and then 2 in the second one. I've got to quit breaking my yarn. Alright, so then single crochet here, and single crochet in the next one, and 2 singles in the other one, which I forgot to, and I broke my yarn and I forgot to put it in there. Okay. Alright, so that was 2 in there. So it was 1, 2, 1, 2, and so my round marker is here. That's why it's so important, because I need to be doing this each round, and these rounds are so small, it goes so fast. Usually it's like, okay, I'll do the next stitch, and I'll go on. So, let me... click, click, click. Alright, so I got some of you watching. Obviously my keyboard isn't in front of me, so I can't message back to you at the moment. Alright, so where was I? Move back my stitch marker, so it was stitch together 2 single ones, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alright, and I'm on my next single. And then there's 2 in the next one. And then single, single. 2 in this last one. Alright, next row. Three, and then one that has 2 in it. Okay. So we'll start here with 1. And yeah, this is a very slow increase. 2. And I'll put the stitch in the first one. Marker. And you want it to be slow. If you were increasing too fast, it would end up flat. Three. And now this one gets 2. Three singles. And then 2 in this one. I suppose I don't need this to be pointy, like necessarily as pointy as a football, because this is supposed to be cat head. So I got a little caught up in that, where I was like, oh man, I want it to be pointy. No, I don't want it to be pointy. I want it to be rounded. And this is going to be a good one. And then 2. And 2, 1, 2, 3, yep, 2, good. Single one here. Now they do have, this pattern does have a number of stitches I should have by the time I reach the end of a row. So at the end of this one, I should have 15 stitches. So I'll count the one in the hook just because I haven't finished it yet. Usually you don't count that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So maybe I actually do have the right amount since I counted the one in the hook. Next is single crochet 1 in each round. Okay. That's an easy one. That's one I like to read. Here's one. Here's my stitch marker. So yeah, I think this is one where using the magic circle is not the best case. So as much as I'd like to close that up, I mean the knot is that little point there. I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about that. You probably tell I'm literally going back and forth in my head. Okay, which one should I use? Which one should I, do I like that? But yeah, even though I have the lights on and stuff, it's still pretty dark for being able to see. I'm gonna go on my hands a little more, so I can see what's going on. Working with the black yarn is a little... The lamp is hot though. I also want to take a look and make sure I'm not completely washing everything else out, but I need to be able to see the yarn. It's a little better for me. I hope it's not too bad for you guys. That and glasses. I don't know if it's just because I'm tired or if this is actually reaching that limit of being just a touch too small. But I don't normally wear glasses. So, wow, man, glasses and headphones don't mix. Someday, eventually, actually, instead of wool for spinning being my donation go, I should probably have something along the lines of, a second camera for crocheting. So you can have a camera on my hands and a camera on my face, because right now I almost feel a little silly wearing glasses. Because I don't normally wear glasses, but I did notice in some of my crocheting a couple months ago that it really hurt. My eyes were so just strained. I probably do need to go back to the eye doctor. That's the health insurance problem when you're not working. And health insurance usually only covers health. It doesn't cover vision, doesn't cover dental, but vision and dental are the things I'm most concerned about right now. So I might need to find one of those random deals where it's like, come get your eyes checked and get 50% off your glasses, because I actually think I might need glasses now. Or maybe I should wear the reading glasses more often. I considered splurging and getting a pair of Gunners, which is supposed to help with computer eye strain, and then just these cheap magnifying / reading glasses for the crocheting. Alright. Wow, what's crazy? I feel better already just putting these on. Yeah, that's why I was exhausted yesterday. I couldn't freaking see. Alright, and I did the single crochet in each round. Now I crochet 4 singles and then 2 in the next. Alright. As you can see, this is starting to shape up a little bit. You can kind of see how it's growing slightly. This will turn out to be a good, well, hopefully a good head. I may still have to build this up a bit. And since I cut it, I may have to add some more to it or tie it back on. But if I make this, at one point it will go up to, it looks like 30 stitches around. I think I counted that before. So I go 30 stitches around. Should be about that tall. I'll probably have to work this up a bit. I think I'm going to keep the head at the proportions that the pattern calls for. I'm not switching colors, so I don't have to worry about the colors in the pattern. I'm on 4. Okay, so 4, 1, and then put the stitch marker back in. There's 1. 2, 3, and 4. So actually, I know I have a user who's watching from the phone. There was something amazing I saw, because I was thinking about your kid and how he likes trains, and I found an amazing pattern. Honestly, it would take probably 2 years to make the whole thing, and that's not exactly an exaggeration, because it is a huge project. But I'm gonna finish this row and I'll find, oh man, I don't even know where to find it now. 1, 2, I'll have to search Ravelry again. 3, 4, 3 and 4. I'm counting ahead of myself. And 2, because now I want to show you the train thing I found. 1, so there's 2 inside of it. Yeah, you see how much faster I'm going? I'm not sure if that's due to the glasses or due to the fact that, you know, it's not a starting piece anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. I mean, the yarn alone required for that project would just, that would be a lot. 1 and 2, and then we move on to 5 and then 2. Alright, so let's switch back to the one where you can see my screen. So I go back to Ravelry, see my screen, and this one. Okay, and minimize this. Now we'll go back to patterns and we'll search trains. I'll search train singular, and I'll keep it knit and crochet. I remember it was some it was something like Hirschner's, or it was definitely sponsored. It was a contest, a pattern contest, sponsored, and it won one of the. That's Granny Squared? That's neat. Or sort of Granny Squared. Actually, I'm almost 100% positive it was Hirschner's. Hirschner's patterns. It won like the annual whatever. I think they called it a. They may have just called it knit, crochet, yarns, needle, craft, and hobby. I don't think they made it into a kit. Maybe they just have the pattern. It could be the pattern. Can I search train? Choo-choo train pan set? No. It's not a product. It's a kit. Train kit? This right here. It's an Afghan with a bunch of trains around it. You see this? And they have little hooks on the end so you can hook them all together. While it's cute as anything, and it comes with a little bag to put them all in, that would take forever to make. Like, I've made 3 granny squares. 1, 2, 3. That's as far as I've gotten. It's like those 3 squares there. And there's numbered, so you can number the trains. So that's a lot of stuff to make. There's probably better train things to make. But this one I was like, this, I think they said something like, alright, so there's an Afghan, 40 removable engines, cars, and numbers. So it's 40 separate of one of those little things. Plus the bag, plus the Afghan. But yeah, they're basically selling the yarn and the pattern for $100. And that does not include yarn, needle, label for personalization instructions. Yeah, and that doesn't include the time it takes to actually do it. So, And maybe someday I'll make a cool blanket like these guys. That's pretty. The waves in that are neat. Those are pretty colors. But yeah, the train set was something I was looking there. Sort of considering, but not really, because the amount of yarn it would take is just exorbitant. 5 single crochet. Stitch marker. And then I'm gonna put the keyboard away. Oh, I should probably switch back to the bigger screen so you can see that's a bit better. There we go. It's 1, 2, 3. And 2. Actually, it's really amazing how much better I feel. Like, I didn't particularly have a headache. I was just getting very, very exhausted. I've noticed that before, that like late at night, when my eyes start getting tired, like that's when I'll immediately just fall asleep. If my eyes are strained and tired, there's pretty much nothing that can keep me awake. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4, which is, like I said, a little concerning if I have to go get glasses. Partially, also, because I get my stuff all over the place. I can imagine. I'm being one of those people who lose their glasses everywhere. Oh my god. 5. I'm not really freaking out about... It's like sometimes you know when you figure it out and you know it. I think I'm at the point where, like, yes, I know this is the problem now. Crap. 3. 4, 5. 2. Still working on our increases here. Nice slow increase rate. Sore wrist though. The starting is, like I said, pretty brutal. Okay. And second one inside this. Alright, and now it's single crochet all the way around. so where did I... Oh, single crochet all the way around. Don't need to count at the moment. If you can tell, I'm kind of bad at counting. I'm not... I don't know. I kind of started crocheting. I was more freeform about it, but I also, for like the first 2 years, all I made was scarves. All you need to do is count your first like 3 rows and then just keep going. Once you have it set up, you don't even have to think about it until you just figure out, how long do I want the scarf to be? Okay, stop. I mean, scarves are easy. You just decide 2 things. You decide what color do I want it to be. Well, I suppose there's a couple more then. How wide do I want it to be? How long do I want it to be? And the long can be decided later. Color. And then I started putting edges on them, just because I didn't like the way the edges looked. The scarf looks so plain with just a single color. So I would mix and match some stuff. So I would take, I think some of the ones I liked the most. They're super soft. So I got some, is it Lion Brand yarn? Some of the homespun stuff. Actually, that's what the hat was made of, Lion Brand homespun. But the other stuff I got was thicker. It had like a wave to it. So I made the body, I was going to call it the body of the scarf, in the Lion Brand homespun, and then I used the fuzzy fun fur. I don't have an example of that out here right now. I used their fun fur on the edges, so I think my favorite one, I made a light purple one with a brown edge with a fuzzy. Oh yeah, favorite scarf. It was a gift for someone else. Yeah, one Christmas, actually a couple Christmases, all I made for people was scarves. That's all I made. So from like October on, I was just crocheting away. Actually, that was a pretty terrible year. Most of the scarves I gave to people, we don't really talk anymore. Oh well. I just want pictures of the scarves. Alright, single crochet in each row around. Done. Now it says switch to color B, but I won't be switching colors, and the next round is single crochet in every round. Again. So I did start a bot on the channel here. That's if you're in the channel, you get loyalty points. If you're in the chat, right now it only shows myself in the bot and channel. So I think friend who's watching from the phone, I don't know if your time is being counted. I don't even know if you can see the chat, because the bot spits out a thing every, I think I set it to half hour. You gain a point a minute you're in the chat, and if I do giveaways, you need to have so many points in order to put in tickets for the giveaway. So just kind of putting that up on your radar, just so you know. So mobile users can gain points still. I'd actually have another friend who can watch from his phone, and he's been replying when he's not too terribly busy working. He said he was waiting on a project to start, so his project may have started and he can't show up. I was looking into a bunch of different bots because there's some specific things I want to do, but I don't know which ones do what I want. And it's like, I don't want to have 5 different bots running just to get like the 4, like the 5 different things I want out of it. Alright. single crochet 6 and then 2 in the next. This 3, 4, that's 4, here's 5, and here's 6. It's now going to be an awkward size. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two in this one. Although I'm feeling better than I was yesterday, I think I put on my glasses a little too late. I probably will have to call it soon here and take another nap after being exhausted from what I'm guessing now is eye strain. So I'll probably cut the stream at 12:30 here, which is in about 15 minutes. Oh no. There we go. And stitch number 2. Three. 4. 5. And 6. Actually, another thing I need to crochet is I'm part of a group on Ravelry where they do a granny square a month, and so by the end of the year you have 12 squares and can put them all together and make a blanket. I've done 1 square, one and a little bit of the other one, so I finished February, and then I started January because March hadn't come out yet, and March, April, May, June all came out while I was very busy with life. Now 6, next 2, back to the main color, single crochet around. Okay, another round of single crochet. So maybe I'll start figuring that out. And they had you choose a set of colors to use at the beginning of the year, and that way your blanket's all kind of the same color. Unfortunately, the yarn I chose didn't really, one of my colors is a different weight, and that makes it difficult. Well, it's very thin, it's very smooth, and it doesn't necessarily blend in well with the other ones. It doesn't hold them very well. I love the color of it. It's this nice tan color, and it's so soft, but it doesn't seem to hold on to the other pieces very well. I'm going to continue with those colors. I may drop that one and pick up a different sort of tannish, brownish color. But I have a lot of that tannish brown. I was just hoping to use it on a neat project. But otherwise, everything else is in like a purple colorway. I get my yarn off of eBay, and it I go for the lots, so I like being surprised is what it comes down to. And oh hey, Picasar was in the chat last night, and she said she wanted a big. She said she wanted a. Actually, the chat's still up from last night. Um, so she said she wanted a Pikachu, which I might just do. Doing cute little things like that should be something that I start on. And she said she wanted something else too. She said she wanted something really fluffy. Like, I think she wanted a fluffy hat like the one I made, like the one I was making yesterday. But I told her if she wanted, I asked her if she wanted a super colorful one. And let's see. Yes, she wants a. How does she? I shall require a fluffy fat yarn version, and I do. In one of those boxes of random lots I got was this like rainbow colored. I was gonna pull it out last night, but I can't. She didn't. She didn't reply to the color thing. It basically looks like yarn that you took all the Fruit Loops colors and made it into that. So it's like bright green, orange, yellow, red, but they're all. It all works well together. And so I was thinking about doing something for my niece with that one. But if Picasar wants to get a hat from me, I can go ahead and try and make a fat fluffy yarn version of it. I would definitely have to go up in my hook size though. Alright, so back to main color single crochet, and now I'm on 7 here. One stitch marker. I do have to remind myself about the stitch markers, otherwise I'll get like 4 or 5 in, I'll be like, oh crap, where do I stop now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the next one is 2. So what do you think? What should I stream later on today after I get up from my nap? Should I do games? Should I do more crochet? I mean, now I have a bunch of crochet projects I've remembered about. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, I got to my level 20 in Hearthstone, so I'll get the card back. Oh, I should play WoW and go to Midsummer's Festival with Lencia, get her that bonus, and quest with her a bit. She's still not level. Did she level yesterday? I don't think so. I don't think she's even level 98 yet. But I really, really need to get her to 100 before the pre-patch comes out. Like, I cannot express how disappointed I would be in myself if I let that happen. But I should also level another Horde character. I also should be counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, one that I don't hate. 6 and 7. So, to all you guys out there, I'm looking for a horde guild somewhere. Preferably on Mal'Ganis, where I have my other character. And I can just use her to help me make money. But... Mal'Ganis, or whatever battle group Mal'Ganis is part of, wherever you can have guilds across the different servers. Although I don't know if Mal'Ganis is part of a different battle group, because it's so big on its own. Alright, so I'm going to end here. I'm on 7. I do need to find a way to leave myself little notes on these guys, like where did I end up? So this is round... I'll be starting round 13 when I... Next round will be round 13. So, 6, yeah, that's not going to work. This is the back of the Redesign IT sticker. So today's the 25th. 6, 25. Next round will be number 13. And this is We Crochet from We Crochet. And they call the football pattern, they could just call it football pattern, Little Toy Football. Little Toy Football. Alright. So I'm making a football for a head on what I hope to be a black cat. So we're about here. So this is where the second stitch marker comes in handy. How the heck did I lose it? Oh, it's right there. So I pull it, don't lose it. So the idea is that I make a football shape, goes on top of here. It's a cat head. It'll have ears, and then it'll have a cute little, cute eyes. You can't see my eyes. So if I play games again tonight, the camera will have to switch to here. Although if I look at the camera, I get that weird glare from the, there we go. So yeah, glasses, totally new thing. But yeah, I will be streaming games later on tonight. World of Warcraft, Valencia. Got the beginnings of my little black cat. 2 pieces. Boop. Make it bigger. And this will be like this. Boop. Boop. Alright. I'm really sleepy. I should probably stick this inside the thing, so instead of just writing a note, I actually put it with the stuff that it pertains to. Little note goes inside the little football guy. Okay, so yep, need a break, and hope to see you guys later. It was good having you around, and have a great afternoon.